Hello, hello, everybody. So let's get started for Monday intention activation. So before we start, I always like to give myself a little stretch. So I invite you to follow me with this, just stretching your arms, maybe rolling your shoulders, like just get a little bit of movement so that your body feels nice and loose. And then when you're ready, sit down. Find a comfortable sitting position, preferably with your feet flat on the floor. And then eventually close your eyes. And first, let's bring our attention, our focus into our feet. And just noticing the weight of our feet on the ground. And you can even press your feet into the ground a little bit, just so that it's easier to feel the contact between your feet and the floor, between your feet and the earth. And here, just imagine, visualize, or feel that your energy is grounded into the earth. Feel yourself being anchored down. And then let's move our attention and focus all the way from the feet up into the chest. And in the middle of the chest where the heart is. And to help you focus, you can place one of your hands over your heart, even rubbing the area of your heart with your hand for a bit. But you can also simply tune in a little bit more into either listening or sensing the sounds or the sensations of your heartbeats. Just focusing inwards on the sensations or sounds of your own body. Hear the sensations or sounds of your own heart. And once you've done that, I'm going to invite you to imagine as if your breath is flowing in and out directly through your heart. And here you stay breathing in a natural way from your nose. Keep your breath steady. Don't hold your breath anywhere. But you just imagine as if your breath is flowing into your heart when you breathe in. And it's flowing out from your heart when you breathe out. And that's going to help to keep the focus in the heart. And now let's just breathe a little bit slower and deeper than we usually do. Just getting into a rhythm for your breath, a rhythm that's comfortable but balanced and rhythmic. Spending the same time inhaling as you're spending exhaling. And we're going to do that for a minute or two together, just to find that rhythm. So you just keep visualizing your breath flowing in and out through your heart. And now you're just breathing in a calm, comfortable, steady, and balanced rhythm. So keep breathing, find your find your rhythm, and I'll let you know when we are ready for the next step. Okay, so now you might already feel a sense of calm that has gently come over you. That's exactly what we're aiming for with this slow breathing. And we're going to take advantage of this calmer state to first remind ourselves of the vision that we have for our future. So, first step, just remind yourself of what's important for you in the future. Remind yourself of where you're intending to go. So it could be your vision for your life, if you're clear on that. But it could also be something more practical, maybe short-term goals or projects that you're working on. Anything that's in the future that is your current direction that you're aiming for. So just remind yourself of that. And once you have that in mind, now we're going to do a gentle contemplation of the recent past. We're going to contemplate what happened last week, just last week, so that we can compare if we're already on track with the vision that we have for the future or not quite. So I'm going to invite you now to imagine as if you're turning towards the recent past in your mind's eyes, as if you could see with objectivity everything that happened last week. If that helps, you can imagine as if you're able to float above your timeline, having a bird's eye view on last week, and just remind yourself of what happened in different areas of your life the areas of your life that are important to you, from work or your relationships, your health, self-care, hobbies, leisure, everything that's important to you. And just notice what has worked well and what has not worked as well as you wanted. So, looking at things that worked, those are the things you will want more of in the future, the things you want to nurture and maintain, and the things that didn't work as well, those are the things that you will want to change or to let go of, the things you want less of in the future. So without judgment, just noticing. Some things went well, some things didn't. What were they? And notice yourself as well. Maybe there were moments where your own state, your own emotional state, mental state, physical state was working well in a sense, and some moments where it was not, your attitudes, behaviors. So you can notice that too. And for the things that didn't work well, try to stay neutral. Don't blame yourself or anyone or anything. Just notice. And maybe notice that sometimes we hope for certain results, and if the results are not here, the outcome is not the one we want, then it appears that things didn't work. But when that's the case, also look at the journey or the process that took us to the outcome, because maybe the process was actually quite bringing you satisfaction or joyful or in a flow, and only the end result wasn't the one you wanted. So just notice the journey versus the result. And what does that tell you about what's important to you, about the things you like? And sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes we are delighted because we got the result, but the journey that brought us to the result was painful, created all sorts of friction, maybe, didn't feel enjoyable. So just notice that too. That in an ideal world, we don't want only the results, we also want to get to the result in a journey that is also very much aligned with who we are. That is also pleasant. So maybe let's give ourselves one more minute to contemplate all of this. Okay, so now we're gonna gently finish that part of our contemplation with one question. If last week or a version of last week was to repeat itself over and over into the future, do you get a sense that it would bring you closer to your vision or your goals? Or is it not quite on track? So basically, if last week was to repeat itself, if nothing changed, do you get a sense that you're already on a trajectory that's going in the right direction towards your vision? Or is the trajectory somewhat misaligned? And maybe the trajectory is good, but you might get a sense that you're not moving or you're not moving fast enough. So just notice. If nothing changes, are you already aligned? Are you already in movement towards your goals, your vision, or not quite? And if you're not, no panic. That's why we're here. We're gonna start the fun part of this meditation where we're actually course correcting our trajectory. And to do that, first let's invite our imagination to come and play with us. And now we are gonna imagine, we are gonna visualize a version of the week that is starting today, but a version that has the best possible outcomes, the best possible scenarios, the most enjoyable journeys. So let's have a bit of fun now, dreaming and imagining. If the week that is starting today is the best week possible, what does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? And for this part, I suggest we start by imagining ourselves. Imagining ourselves when we're at our best, when we're in the flow, when we make decisions easily, when we take action with excitement, when our spirit is high, when we make things happen, when we're in such a state, what happens? What are we creating? What are we generating? What decisions do we make? What actions do we take? So start with yourself and imagine everything that you are directly creating, that you're making happen in a very straight, direct way, because you're in control of the result. You're in control of the decision. It's in your hands. What does the week look like, feels like, sounds like when you're in such a creative and productive flow? Just imagine yourself in the flow. What are you doing? What are you making happen? And then, as you imagine yourself in such a great flow of energy, flow of creativity, then just notice how you're impacting the people around you. As of course, we don't live in a desert island, we're not isolated. And some decisions are not in our hands, they're in other people's, they depend on other people. Some actions we cannot take on our own. We rely on other people. So just allow yourself to imagine, now that you've created a flow of positive energy, how does that flow expands and ripples out to people that you're interacting with, whether like the people you love the most, your family, your friends, but also the people you work with, you work for, your colleagues, your clients maybe, and also the people you interact with on a daily basis in the shops, in the restaurant, even random strangers in the street, in public transport. How does your flow of energy impact these people? So here I invite you to imagine how your flow of positive energy is somehow being contagious. Just notice maybe the impact that it has on other people's lives and feelings and attitudes and behaviors, and how that ripples to the people that are close to those first, to this first layer of people that you're imagining. So as if you could see a flow rippling through layers and layers of people. You're impacting one person, this person impacts another, that person impacts another. And that's how this flow of positive energy travels through circles of other humans. And as you imagine this flow moving through layers of people, circles of people, maybe you're noticing how this creates possibilities and opens doors for all of these people, layer after layer, unblocking situations, generating flow that create opportunities that everyone benefits from. It's as if the flow that you've created for yourself has snowballed. Just notice this flow of positive energy moving through more and more humans. And notice how it transforms the energy around them and how that creates different attitudes, different decisions, different actions, and how those create new possibilities, new opportunities for anyone, everyone, including yourself. So now I'm going to invite you to imagine what possibilities might come back to you that way. What synchronicities, surprises, unexpected opportunities are coming back your way. Just imagine. Have fun dreaming. This might look like random surprises, random good news showing up in your life. It might look random, but it's not. You have contributed to a flow, and that flow has passed through multiple layers of people, and it's now has created opportunities that are making their way into your experience. So imagine what those experiences might be. Maybe new people that you're meeting. Maybe projects that you're invited to take part in. Maybe coincidences. You being at the right place at the right time. So just have fun imagining what that could be, what that could look like. Like when you're starting to notice flowers blooming from seeds that you didn't even realize you had planted, thanks to your own attitude, your own positive energy, your own flow. Okay, so let's give ourselves one more minute to imagine all of these beautiful opportunities and allow your imagination to go wild. Okay, and now we're going to set an intention. As so far we've imagined great things for this week, but we're still within the paradigm of what we are able to imagine. But there are many more possibilities out there that we don't know of, that we are not able to fathom yet. So let's set that intention that when opportunities, possibilities show up in our experience that look widely unfamiliar, that we will recognize them for what they are, that they are just opportunities that, yes, are very much aligned, very much in the flow for us, but so far we hadn't been able to imagine them that way. So let's set that intention that we will recognize them and still welcome them into our life, into our experience. All of these opportunities that might look completely different from what we're used to. Let's still welcome them into our lives. So let's set that intention. It means that we are also accepting to detach from what the future might look like precisely. We're giving the general direction, but we're detaching from knowing exactly how it is going to show up for us. And it might look different than what we're used to. So we're opening up to possibly even better than what we're able to imagine for now. Okay, so once we've done that, now let's notice how we're feeling. We've just imagined great things for this week. How does it feel in our body? Maybe it's a very familiar feeling that we can name, maybe excitement, passion, motivation, what it is for you. Or maybe it's just sensations. You can feel them in your body, not quite sure what to call them, and that's okay. In any case, we're going to make them stronger. And that's the next part of our session now. I'm going to invite you to imagine as if these sensations, these feelings are flowing in and out through your heart with each of your breaths. So just imagine, visualize, or even pretend that you can visualize if you're not very, if you're finding it difficult to see, to visualize, just pretend that you can. It works too. Imagine that these sensations flow into your body through your heart when you breathe in. And imagine that they're flowing out when you breathe out through your heart into the space around you and in front of you. So breathe in, these sensations, feelings flow through your heart into yourself. And when you breathe out, these sensations flow out from your heart into the space around you and in front of you. And every time you breathe in and out, these sensations, these feelings get stronger and stronger. On every in-breath, you can feel them with more intensity inside of yourself. And on your out-breath, you can radiate them out into the space around you with more power. Breathe in, feel them inside of you, inside your body, and breathe out. Imagine you're radiating them into the space in front of you, around you. Every cycle of breath, and these sensations get stronger and stronger, both in your body and out in the space in front of you and around you. With each cycle of breath, they're getting stronger and stronger. When you breathe in, you feel them inside yourself. When you breathe out, you're noticing that you're able to radiate them further and wider and brighter into the space around you and even more specifically in front of you. It's as if these sensations are like a fire. With each in-breath, you can feel the warmth of the fire inside you. And on each out-breath, you can see the light from the fire shining brighter and brighter into the space in front of you. And in a few deep breaths, these sensations, this fire, this light, this heart energy is going to get so strong that you will barely be able to contain it. And now with each out breath that you're radiating this light into the space in front of you, now you're noticing it's gone so strong that it's like a laser beam that is shooting from your heart, illuminating the space in front of you. And it does that with so much strength, so much power, that it's literally carving out a portal right in front of you. It's carving out a doorway, a pathway in the space in front of you. And you know that on the other side of this door, of this portal, is not just a portal through space, it's also a portal through time. And on the other side is the version of reality for the week that is starting today, that has all the possibilities available to you. All the possibilities you've imagined and beyond are available to you on the other side of this portal. So in a few moments, we are gonna walk through this portal. So get ready now. In your mind's eyes, imagine as if you're standing up, taking a few steps towards the portal. One foot goes through the portal, and your other foot goes through the portal. And that's it. You are now standing on the other side. And as you're standing on the other side of the portal, you're noticing that it has just closed behind you. There is no portal anymore. And the timeline, the path from the past has dissolved with it. There is no access to the past anymore, only to the future. You're on the side of the portal where you are walking in a new version of reality, a new version of the week that is aligned with everything you've imagined, where all possibilities are available to you. So I'm going to invite you now to imagine yourself, feel, take some deep breath, connecting with this new version of your own reality. On each in-breath, you're connecting with all these possibilities that are available to you now. On your out-breath, you might want to breathe out gratitude. Each in-breath connects you, each in-breath connects you deeper with these possibilities. Each out-breath, you're expressing your gratitude for their reality. And now we're going to anchor this even deeper for ourselves. And we're going to create a little anchor, which is a gesture that we'll be able to use at any time during the week when we need to remind ourselves of this new reality. So to do that, I'm going to invite you now to bring your thumb and index finger of your right hand, place them together, press them against each other, and just notice all the sensations of your two fingers touching. Notice the sensations of pressure between your fingers. And now do the exact same with the thumb and index finger of your left hand. Place them together, press them together, and notice all the sensations between these two fingers. Sensations of pressure between left thumb and left index finger. And now just do it on both sides at the same time. And focus all of your attention on both sides at the same time. As if you could split your mind into bringing the exact same level of attention on your right hand and left hand. And press your fingers together and find a point of perfect equal pressure on both sides. When the pressure between your fingers is the same on the right and the left. And as your mind is busy finding this point of pressure, this point of equilibrium, it is 100% present. It is 100% present on finding that point of pressure, which means it is completely focused. And he has no choice but to completely release the grip, any grip from the past, unlearning, letting go of anything from the past that doesn't serve you. And as you keep focusing, finding that point of perfect equal pressure, your mind is 100% present. It has no choice but to fully accept this new version of your reality, where you have access to all of these opportunities aligned with your vision, aligned with your goals. So now just keep in mind that at any time this week, whenever you need it, you will be able to use this very simple exercise to bring yourself back. Bring yourself back on track. Bring yourself back into this version of reality where you have access to the possibilities that are aligned with your vision. At any time during the week, all you need to do is bring your fingers, both hands, find that point of equilibrium between your two hands, and immediately it will bring back your mind, your body, your psyche in alignment with this version of reality that you're in for this week. So now you can release your fingers, release your anchor. And it's time to bring ourselves back. And to do that, just rub your hands together until they're warm. Place them at the top of your head. And we're going to touch every part of our body as if we want to remind ourselves of the boundaries of our physical body. So starting with our head and face, down our neck, shoulders, all the way down to our arms, then back from our shoulders, this time touching the front of our body, torso, abdomen, then back underneath the armpit, touching along the rib cage and the hips, and then on the back as much as we can, touching the spine all the way from the top to the sit bones, and then from hips touching your thighs, your knees, your legs, all the way to your feet if you can. If you cannot touch your feet, it's fine. Just press your feet onto the ground again. Feeling this point of connection between your feet and the floor, between your feet and the earth. And this time, taking a moment to send some gratitude to the earth for allowing our whole experience on this plane of existence. And on these words, that's it for this week. So remember to use your anchor if you feel that you need to remind yourself during the week of the version of reality that you want to be in, and just go and live your life. Have fun as much as possible. Um, and I shall see you next week when we keep adjusting and upgrading our version of reality for the next week and the next month. Okay, ladies, thank you for attending. Look after yourself. See you soon.